Okay, go.
Have I got to start again? The whole thing, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, okay. We understand you conducted a residence survey for St Helens South and Whiston. Can you tell us about it and what were the results?
Yes, we hand-delivered 6,000 surveys across the constituency. This is what they look like if anybody's watching and recognises them. We received over 100 responses, which is very good actually. It's just close to 2%, which for a written survey is quite a decent result. As well as this video, there'll also be more details on the website, gilliankeegan.com. And plus I'm in the middle of writing back to everybody who responded, and thank you very much if you did take the time and trouble to respond. The survey basically sought to find out two things. First of all, what are the major national issues that people in the constituency are most concerned about? And the second, what are the local issues that are concerning people most at this moment in time?
What were the three main national issues and what are the Conservatives doing about them?
The three main national issues probably won't come as much of a surprise to anybody. They were immigration, the National Health Service and the economy. So if I take each one of those in turn, immigration, the Conservatives believe in controlled and not mass immigration. There are many benefits to immigration, both for our economy and for our culture. However, mass immigration puts too much pressure on services and also can in some cases drive wages down. So what we want to do is we want to introduce new rules, and that's what we're talking about renegotiating with the European Union. The first of those is that any job seeker coming to the country cannot claim any benefits for the first 6 months. If they can't find a job after 6 months, then they will be asked to leave and go back to their own country, and obviously we need to make sure that we keep a track of everybody who's here. If they do find work, and hopefully they will, then anybody who has work, who's an EU migrant, will not receive in-work or social housing benefits for at least the first 4 years. So the principle's one that if you pay in, you can get out, but you have to pay in for 4 years. Also, we want to introduce tougher bans for deporting EU criminals. The second was the National Health Service. The Conservatives are obviously committed, like every party is, to the National Health Service. It's a part of our fabric in the UK. Despite huge budget challenges in the last Parliament, we did manage to continue to fund and increase the funding in the NHS, and we have got 17,000 more doctors and nurses and midwives in the National Health Service as a result. Now, Simon Stevens, who's the CEO of the NHS, has done a complete study of his budgets, and he said on top of what efficiency savings he can find, we need an extra 8 billion per year, and we, the Conservatives, have agreed to fund that and committed to that during the next Parliament. One of the other big pillars of our strategy is to try and get more access to GPs and more GPs, because this will take the pressure off A&E. In addition, it's very important to continuously look at efficiency savings. Just between 2010 and 2012, we increased efficiency in the NHS by about 2.7%, and that's worth 50,000 doctors. So it's very important. The NHS is the largest employer in the whole of Europe, so it's very important that we seek efficiency gains, because a small gain in efficiency can have a massive impact to take the pressure off. The third area is the economy. I think the economy, and most people would say, and certainly anybody who's watching from any other country would say, that the UK economy is a real success story and really is one of the biggest success stories of the Conservative-led government of the last 5 years. We have more than 2 million people now in jobs that they were not in before, 1.9 million apprentices. We've also at the same time managed to achieve a tax cut for 26 million people whilst increasing the state pension by about £950 a month. So everybody has gained, and that's very important when we say that we want to have an economic recovery that's balanced. But we know we haven't done enough. We have to do more. There's a lot of questions about the quality of the jobs, and I just wanted to deal with that as well. What we want to do in the next Parliament is we want to increase earnings, and we'll do that two ways. One, by encouraging employers to pay more, and two, by increasing the level at which you start to pay tax. So currently it's 10,600, it will go up to 12,500. And just to look at the quality of the jobs, because there's a lot of noise from, particularly from our political opponents, about the quality of those 2 million jobs. Nobody's disputing that they're there, but what is the quality of them? A couple of facts and figures, if you'll just allow me to finish on them. 60% of those jobs are outside of the southeast of England, so up north as well. 75% are full-time. 66%, 2/3, are high-skilled jobs. Now, 2% of them are on 0 hours contracts. Probably around about 1.23% of those are 0 hours contracts that people would like to work more. And of course we need to address that, but that's just to put the whole 2 million new jobs into context. So the economy is obviously one of the biggest focus of the Conservative government, and we want to stay on track, which is why we're fighting to remain in government and be the government for the next 5 years.
What about the local issues that were raised in the survey? Could you tell us more about them?
Yes, so I took all the comments and then I looked at those that were raised more often, and I've put them into something called Wordle, which you'll see on the website, which is basically where the biggest word is the biggest issue. So the biggest issue actually, which was raised a lot of times, was inconsiderate parking, and that's by both neighbours, visitors, and in particular school drop-offs if you live in a school area. So that's one of the biggest issues, and it seems to annoy people. The second is roads, the quality of the roads, and speeding. And then there were two very specific issues raised by residents in specific areas. One was the closure of Eccleston Pharmacy, which is a concern to those elderly residents who want to get their medication and get access to their prescriptions. And the second was the Greenbelt land in South Whiston, which has been there for a long, long time, I think even since you were a kid, and is now under threat by the council selling it off for development, which the residents are trying to stop. So if elected next week, the first things I will action would be those issues that are raised in the resident survey, and if in any case I'm not elected, clearly we still need to get these things resolved. So I'll send the results of all the resident survey feedback to the local councillors who are elected as of next week to make sure we get these action no matter who is in government.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for listening.